What if I told you you could grow taller even after the age of 18? I know this sounds too good to be true, but it's exactly what happened to me. I grew 4 inches in just under a year, from 5'10" to 6'2", and this was after seeing no height growth from the age of 16 to 18. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how I did it. All these methods are backed and based by science, so it will also work for you. It's worked for me, and it's worked for over 90 members in my school community grow taller. Let me start off with a concept which should make things very easy for you to understand. Let's say your genetic potential, your 100% capacity, is 6'2" or 74 inches. But now let's say you're running at 95%, so maybe you're not getting proper sleep, you're not eating the right foods, and your hormones aren't balanced. But now that 5% loss equates to 4 inches, so instead of you being at your 100%, which should be 74 inches or 6'2", you're now 70 inches, which is 5'10". That small gap is where the magic of optimization exists. So why do growth plates close? This is because you have high levels of estrogen. This is exactly why, for example, girls, they stop growing a lot earlier before guys do, because they naturally produce a lot of estrogen. And when you produce a lot of estrogen, it causes your growth plates to close prematurely. And the second thing is very similar. This is having high levels of aromatase. Aromatase is pretty much just an enzyme inside your body which converts your testosterone into estrogen. So in order to keep your growth plates open for as long as physically possible, you need to increase your testosterone and lower your estrogen levels. And if you don't know if your growth plates are closed or not, you can get an x-ray, but usually if you're in between the ages of 18 to 21, they're usually open. And in some rare cases from 21 to 25, your growth plates can still be open and you can still optimize your lifestyle for height growth. But don't worry if your growth plates are closed and they're fused. So let's say maybe you're 25, 26 and you want to grow 1 to 3 inches taller. I will have another part in the end of this video which goes through all the things you can do, like fixing posture, nerd neck, anterior pelvic tilt, all things which are taking away inches from your height, and I'm not even exaggerating. So here's what you need to focus on if your growth plates are still open. The first thing is deep restorative sleep that's in alignment with your circadian rhythm. This is literally when your body releases the most of its growth hormone, so it's very important that you get proper restorative sleep. If you're not getting that, it will directly stunt your growth. The 3 best ways to get better sleep is making sure obviously you're getting 8+ hours of sleep. If you're not getting deep restorative sleep or you're waking up at night, you can drink some chamomile tea with honey. And the third thing is fixing your circadian rhythm. This is your body's internal clock which signals to everything else in your body when to release certain hormones. And if this is out of line, it will directly affect your growth hormone, your IGF-1 hormone, your testosterone, and your estrogen. The second thing is making sure you're eating proper whole foods. This is because food is the literal building block. It contains all the micronutrients, the vitamins that you need for your bones to grow. So if you're eating a proper ancestral diet, so eggs, dairy, meats, fruits, this is all you need to have a really good diet. And of course, you should not be consuming processed foods and seed oils. These will directly increase your estrogen production. You need the building blocks for bone growth. So your phosphorus, your magnesium, your calcium, your vitamin K2, quality meat proteins. These are all things you need in order to actually have proper bone growth and development. And it's all about balance. Let's say you're underweight, you're probably not getting enough food, which means you're not getting enough vitamins, nutrients, everything you need to actually build your bones. On the other hand, maybe you eat a lot of food, you're overweight, but now because you have a lot of fat and you carry a lot of fat, you're going to hold more estrogen and you're going to produce more estrogen, which also stunts your growth. Luckily for you, I'm going to make a video on each of these things. I bulked 40 pounds in 4 months eating only whole, clean foods, and I've also lost over 50 pounds in just 3 months. So I can make a video on each of these things for you guys, and that's in a later video. So the second thing you want to do if you want to actually grow taller and get growth spurts is going to be optimizing 2 hormones. This is your growth hormone and your IGF-1 hormone. So to do this, it's very simple. Once a week, you're going to want to do a long fast. I'm talking 18 to 24 hours. And at the end of your fast, before you break it, you want to do sprinting. Sprinting also massively boosts growth hormone by up to 2000%. So you want to do your fasting, then you're sprinting. But where the magic happens is when you introduce and break that fast with raw natural sugars. These are going to spike your IGF-1 and allow for bone growth and development. So what meal is the best for this? You want raw natural sugars. So things like fruits, raw honey, maple syrup, these are all great ways to get that natural sugar. This is because high insulin spikes IGF-1. And you don't have to make this extremely complicated. Something as simple as a yogurt bowl or a smoothie will do everything you need. This is going to contain a little bit of protein and also contain that raw natural sugar from the fruits, and you can add some honey or maple syrup in there for taste. It is important though when you consume this meal. Ideally, it's 5 to 20 minutes after your sprint. and in the fasted state. And of course, you're not going to be doing fasted sprints every single time. Ideally, you're sprinting 3 times a week, but only one of these sprints are in that extremely fasted state. You can still obviously get a lot of benefits from just doing sprinting alone because it boosts growth hormone for up to 2000%, but ideally you're doing once a week in a fasted state. So now let's say your growth plates are completely closed and fused. You're not out of luck. Most people can get about 1 to 3 inches in extra height, and I'm not even exaggerating. The first thing you want to focus on is spinal compression. Almost all of us are losing 1 to 1.5 inches in height just from this alone. And this is caused from having bad posture, sitting in chairs all day, never doing proper mobility and stretching, and never actually decompressing your spine. This is very simple to do. You just want to either use an inversion table or do dead hangs. Ideally with dead hangs though, you want to use a hook attachment. This is 20 bucks on Amazon, but most gyms have this, and it's pretty much just allows your body to fully hang from a bar without engaging all your back muscles, so you can get a proper decompression. I know people in their late 20s who have gained 2 inches in height just from doing this alone. This is very easy to do, especially if you're already in the gym for many hours. You can simply just do this for 3 to 5 minutes and you will be so much better. You'll be taller and you'll be a lot less stiffer. Likely if you lift weights, you'll also be suffering from spinal decompression due to bad posture, and this is very simple to do while you're at the gym because it's always going to be there. You're always going to have a pull-up bar, especially with the straps. This is going to help decompress your spine, and it's also going to help you be a lot less stiff and sore after your workouts. If you're already going to be in the gym for over an hour, what's 3 to 5 minutes of doing a decompression hang? The second thing is fixing bad posture. This could be everything from anterior pelvic tilt, which is going to give your lower back an excessive arch. Things like nerd neck is going to affect your height. Bow-leggedness or knock knees. These are all things which you could fix, but it's not a quick fix. These will take 6 to 12 months of consistent stretching and mobility exercises, but it will work. This is usually where a lot of height growth is lost, and 90% of people suffer from postural imbalances. So you can gain anywhere from 1 to 2 inches from fixing these things. And now here's a bonus for staying this far into the video. So 2 natural supplements you can take which are going to help boost your growth is going to be raw royal jelly and colostrum. Basically, raw royal jelly is going to increase your testosterone a lot while also reducing your estrogen, so this is great for keeping your growth plates open for as long as possible. If you don't have access to this or you can't get it, don't worry, it's not the most important thing, but it certainly helps. And if you can get it cheaper at a farmer's market, it tends to be better quality as well. And the second thing is raw colostrum. This is not very important, but it certainly helps because it has the most bioavailable IGF-1 you can get in food. This can be even harder to get in some countries, but you can also just get it in powdered form. So if you're under the age of 25 and your growth plates are still open, this is your golden window to maximize your genetic potential. I guarantee you, if you optimize your health and your lifestyle, it will allow you to grow further than you believed you could. I thought I was going to be capped at 5'10" for all my life because I literally didn't grow. I thought my growth plates were closed, but I locked in on my health and everything changed. And you don't just have to take my transformation as an example. The best transformation this month in July has been this member who grew 4 centimeters in the past month. This is not another silly technique or a pill that you take which is going to magically make you taller. This is all backed and rooted by science. And if you want private one-on-one access to me, weekly live Q&A calls, and monthly giveaways where I give hundreds of dollars to the best transformations, that's all inside my school community, link in the description. Try this out for yourself, be consistent with it, and thank me later when you start growing taller. Good luck.